Alright everyone, in previous videos we created a mist effect using clones. One problem you might have is all the clones kind of look the same even though they're different sizes. There's a couple of ways to kind of mess around with that so that you can get different kinds of effects and appearances. So one of the things you could do is you can change the ghost effect so that it's random. We want to make it somewhat visible, so let's not make the ghost effect bigger than 50. So that'll kind of create denser pockets of mist and some pockets that are less dense. A slightly different thing you can do is you could try playing around with the whirl effect, which kind of twists the graphic. Let's have a look if that looks any good. I mean, I don't notice a big difference. They all seem to look like copies of one another, so I'm not sure that I like that. Maybe if I make the effect more extreme. That seems a bit better. So maybe that's worth doing. Maybe that's worth leaving in. You could also change and try fisheye, which kind of warps the mist into a lens effect. So you see the idea there. I think I like the whirl. One last thing you could do is you could go to costumes. You can duplicate your costume, and then you could just literally kind of play around with it. So I usually convert to vector. And then I've selected everything, and then I can kind of rotate it, and that'll make it look a bit different. I can stretch it in one direction maybe. I can make it look a little bit different. So there's different things that I can do. And then after I've finished, I can switch costume to pick random. And then depending on how many costumes I've created, in this case I only created 2, so pick random 1 to 2. And then I'm going to take the whirl out for a minute just to kind of see how that looks. So you can see they're kind of different rotations, and these 3 all look the same. So you probably need a bunch of costumes if you're going to try to do things this way. But I kind of like the whirl effect, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of the costume effect. And for our official version, I'm just going to leave the whirl effect, and that seems to be kind of coming up with some cool and interesting stuff. Now, having created the disappearance block, we can actually put that into a block of its own name. So let's call it change appearance. So we have a block of instructions here that are affecting the appearance. We're gonna put that in a block of code with its own name. So change appearance goes to the front, picks a random size, whirls it a bit, and then shows it. And then what we're going to do is we can reuse this here. So when it fades across and it disappears on one side, it changes its appearance before appearing on the other. And that gives you the effect that an entirely different bit of mist is kind of coming onto the screen to replace the one that left. And that just gives you a bit more variation as well. Okay, so that'll be that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.